Hello everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying where you're from and when you watched. That way, YouTube will continue to show you stories like this. Now, let's get started. We stood on the other side of the collapsed bridge. Our breathing still heavy, the four of us looked at each other in silence. No one dared to speak for fear that even a loud sound would awaken something lurking somewhere in the mist. The road ahead opened wider. The trees were sparse but tall. The leaves intertwined to cover the moonlight. Only a pale light like phosphorescence covered the ground. I walked slowly, step by step. Each dry branch broke under my feet like the sound of bones cracking. Ethan took out the camera to check again. The screen was blank with no footage, only a single character repeating like the code E. Daniel sighed. He said that this thing was not simply erasing data, but as if it was trying to rewrite the story. In its own way, Mia quietly walked close to me. Her hands were cold. She whispered that she heard people walking with her, but it was not the three of us, but a larger group. As if there were dozens of invisible footsteps around, I stopped. Listen. The rustling of leaves really did not match our rhythm, as if there was a group of people lurking in the darkness. Suddenly, from afar, flashed a faint red light, like a campfire. The whole group's hearts skipped a beat because we had seen a haunted tent before. Daniel tightened his flashlight and walked quickly. When he got closer, the red light turned out to be coming from hundreds of paper lanterns hanging scattered on the tree branches. All flickering in the wind, the red light dyed the forest into a surreal scene, evoking a feeling of both festival and mourning. Mia covered her mouth and sobbed. She said these lanterns were often used in soul-sending ceremonies. Ethan turned the camera around, but on the screen appeared the silhouettes of dozens of people in white standing among the lanterns. While the naked eye could only see empty space, I clearly felt the cold breath on the back of my neck. A whisper rang out in English, but broken, as if from a bleeding throat. Camping is over. My spine shivered. It felt like the forest was announcing that our journey was now just a funeral rite. 4 people crowded between the rows of lanterns. Each one had a scribbled letter. One had Alex's name, another had Mia's. I trembled to understand that the forest had prepared a farewell ceremony. For each person, Daniel angrily shouted and broke a lantern. The red flame went out, but immediately dozens of others flared up fiercely. The wind rose, followed by a hoarse scream, like 100 voices in unison. Ethan shouted for us to run. But where to run when the forest was filled with only red lights and white shadows? I held Mia's hand, my heart pounding. My eyes swept over and saw a small dark path between 2 ancient trees where there was no red light nor white shadow. I shouted loudly for the whole group to rush into it, leaving behind the sound of broken lanterns, screams and red light flooding, and I knew the path we chose would be no less terrifying. It was just another path that the forest was preparing to continue the game of death in the next episode.